Will this storyteller batch Bookers paint the perfect picture? Or will it leave us using our imaginations to tell a taller tale of how we could have better spent $90? Stay tuned to find out. Simple whiskey, Cyncere. Here to keep it 100, what's the ABV? Keep it simple. Simple whiskey, be sweeter. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Simple Whiskey Show. Tonight, we're diving into Booker's Storyteller Batch 2023-04. If you haven't already, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications to stay tuned to all things Simple Whiskey. Let's jump right in. So this is the fourth and final batch of 2023 for the Booker's line. Of the 2023 lineup, I've only had the second batch, which was the Apprentice batch, and caught a lot of hate in some of the reviews. I myself liked it. It is everything that I'd hoped it to be, and I've enjoyed every pour I've had of it. The other two batches released this year were regarded in some of the comments as some of the best Bookers to date. Those were Charlie's batch, which was the first release of this year, and the Mighty Fine batch, which was the Q3 release. If you've had any of them or all of them, leave me a comment down below with your thoughts. Did you like them? Did you hate them? And which one is your favorite? So those of you unfamiliar with Bookers may not know that each batch comes with one of these little cards with the master distiller notes inside of each box. And they correspond to the color of the batch that's indicated on the front of the bottle. These cards outline the inspiration behind what they name each batch. Fun fact, these batch names have nothing to do at all with what's in the bottle, nor the barrels that are picked. These names are pre-selected well before the bourbon's even picked. So for this batch, Beam Family 7th Generation Master Distiller Fred No writes, Booker Storyteller Batch is made up from barrels of 4 production dates that were aged in 4 different warehouses. The breakdown barrel storage is also listed here on the card. The color of Storyteller Batch is a rich amber with a golden shine. Sitting in your glass, the scent of great bourbon fills the room and invites you to further explore the brown sugar aroma. The taste is delightful and well balanced with notes of vanilla and wood. I tasted this batch on a drizzly September day. There was a slight chill in the air and it reminded me that fall was just around the corner. And this bourbon has the perfect warm finish for those days to come. A little bit of water further opens up the tasting experience for me, but you can enjoy it any way you please. Storyteller Batch is just the way Dad would have wanted it when he created the brand over 30 years ago. I can almost hear him telling one of his great stories while he sips on a glass of his own. I hope you enjoy this batch as much as I do. Fred No crafted this from barrels aged in 4 different warehouses. Each floor, each moment in time, contributes to the complexity that we're about to experience here in a moment. I was lucky enough to pick this up in a drop like I do most bottles of this caliber. I did pass on the bottle a little book, so leave me a comment below if that was a mistake or not. Let's crack this baby open. Gotta love that cork pop. And the magician never tells his secrets, but voila. Let's get into that sweet scented nectar aroma. Per their website, I should get a robust aroma of vanilla, caramel, and smokiness. They also claim that it's a taste that tells a story with a surprising infusion of vanilla as well as wood. Let's give it a sniff. I can see where they get some of the vanilla as well, but to me it's more of a brown sugar, not overly aromatic in terms of the ethanol alcohol scent. Smells like a good bourbon. That brown sugar that I get on that invites you to explore even further. It's like a welcoming embrace, just drawing you into the narrative of this Booker's Storyteller Batch. And remember, feel free to enjoy it the way that you like it. I'm gonna add a few drops of water to it on my second sip, but for my first sip, I always start neat and then go from there just to see how I like it overall. All right, no more character buildup. Let's jump into the main plot. Here we go. Kind of warm for the first sip of the night. I really like it though. I get that nuttiness that I expect to get from Booker's, but I'm also picking up a weird citrusy, almost like a zest of some sort. Not an orange, maybe a lemon or a lime zest. A little bit of sweetness on it. Probably that brown sugar that I smell, but it tastes almost like funnel cake, like confectionery sugar, not necessarily as rich as brown sugar. The finish on this is like the 5th Harry Potter book. It's just long and full of complexity. And back to my magician phase, voila. Let's add a little bit of water to it. See how we like it at that point. So the nose on this is a little more muted than when I took the initial sniff. Granted, now that I've familiarized myself with it, chances are that could be helping it as well. Let's try it again for the second sip. So I know that the water should dull down a little bit of the ethanol, and the fact that this is the second sip, it's a lot more homey, a lot more natural. And as I look and see the viscosity of it still just drizzling down the sides of the Glencairn, it's still medium viscosity, coats the mouth really well. From a flavor perspective, the water seems to have opened it up a little bit, and it's definitely lemon zest that I was getting. I still get that confectionery sugar that I got originally, but it dulled it down a little bit. So the notes of brown sugar in the nose, I still get them, but they almost have transitioned into like a something sweet that's baked, like cinnamon bread or like coffee cake even. Overall, definitely one I'll go back to. I haven't had the apprentice batch in quite a while, so I'll probably need to compare the two. Maybe I'll do a video. Let me know in the comments below if you want to see a video comparing this one and the apprentice batch, and if I find any others in between now and then, I'll also add those to the mix. But yeah, I really like this. I'm curious to see what everybody says. There's not a lot of videos out on this one yet, so we shall see. All right, let's jump into the simple breakdown on this one. MSRP, here in Virginia, I paid $89.99. So based off of what you get for that price, whether it be the presentation of the bourbon, whether it be the overall flavors, the higher proof, the age on it, all of the above is well worth paying $89.99 for me. Secondary pricing, I was just on the phone with a friend of mine last night, shout out to Big Ben, and he was telling me that he came across the Mighty Fine batch for $199.99. So chances are that after this sits on the shelves for a couple of months, it'll probably join that. So if I had to guess, it'd be $200. It's still too new to properly gauge it. I know when I looked it up online, I did see one that had it for $119, one that had it for $149. We pay MSRP because we're government controlled. Age on this one is very specific. 7 years, 2 months, and 29 days. ABV improved, 63.9%, 127.8 on the proof. Definitely drinks at the proof that it is, especially for the first sip of the night, but not overpowering in terms of the proof. This is right there in that sweet spot of a higher end bourbon that you'd like. Sip neat. Again, I can always go back to the campfire or down here in the bourbon room, just having great conversation. This is right there, and that proof actually helps it. Mash bill on this one is undisclosed. I'm not even going to attempt it because everything I found on it varied and it was different, so I'm not sure where some of my sources got their information from, but it's definitely not disclosed as to the exact mash bill on this one. Distillery, Jim Beam, as I mentioned earlier. Simple advice on this one, buy and back up if you can. I mean, heck, the presentation alone is worth it to me, not to mention, obviously, the flavor of it. So at $90, I would definitely buy and back it up. I don't think I would do the same if I had to pay secondary $200 for it. And there you have it. Booker's Storyteller Batch 2023-04, a sip that echoes the legacy of a great storyteller. If you've enjoyed this journey, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, leave a comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe for more stories in a glass. Remember, life's too short to leave bottles unopened. And until next time, may your glasses be full and your stories be fuller. Cheers.